Hey guys, Brandon here from the Vancouver Pupps, here with another workshop. And if you've been following my channel, you'll know that we've been working really hard lately to create some cool puppets for the show. And I've really been working hard on getting Oko all ready for more live performing. So now I feel pretty comfortable in these three puppets. I have here the original hand puppet, which we can always use in a live show for anything. And then we have our dancing Oko, and then the brand new one we just finished, the marionette that I made and set up for dancing as well live. So now we have three to perform with, to sing and dance to in different kinds of ways and styles. But one thing I really want to do is get Oko to start playing some instruments. I'm going to challenge ourselves even more by trying to do something we've never done with Oko before, and that's play some musical instruments. So I have some very specific ones in mind. Yeah, we're going to take a look at those now, and yeah, let's just get to it. Let's just see what kind of amazing instruments we're going to have for Oko to rock on to very shortly. Let's see what we got. Alright, so voila, here's a few of the instruments that I want to be able to find some way of adapting the Oko puppets that I have. I want to find some way of adapting them so that he can play these. So this is an electric guitar that I got from the dollar store. So this is, I mean, it was really cheap piece of garbage from the kids' toy. I don't even know what kid would want to play with this because it literally does nothing. It had these plastic strings that didn't even make music. This is more like a bath toy or for a kid or something. I don't know. But I thought that this is the perfect size for Oko, and I thought that would be a good prop and a good bass to use for an instrument for Oko. So that's perfect. So I basically just roughed it up all over with some sandpaper. What I'm going to be doing is just priming this. I did some paint tests here, and I did a primer of black. And then I got this metallic red paint because I want this guitar to be sort of like metallic red. And I want the back of it to be black. And then I want the handle to be wooden. So we have a lot of work to do on this. The first thing I'm going to do is prime everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the back of this black and then prime the top of it white. Because the white, the top part is going to be red eventually. And as I can see from my And as you can see from my paint test here, I did a black primer and a white primer and then did the metallic paint on top. It's way better on the white. I mean, I should have known that. But I didn't want the back of it black anyway, because when this is hanging on Oko's back, I want it to be black so that it doesn't show. That's sort of the idea. And then here's a saxophone that I got. And this is just another cheap toy. Just like a party toy, I think, more than anything else. But again, it looks pretty good. The brass shine on it is really nice, and it's again the perfect size for Oko. So I'm going to adapt this. I'm not going to do much to this. Basically, all I want to do is everything that's sort of like colored like a rainbow color, including this mouthpiece. I'm just going to paint black, and then I got some of these round button. They're sort of like round discs. I'm going to be gluing some of these onto the different keys here, these black keys, and I got some paint that I'll paint those, and this paint is sort of like shiny, glittery, kind of mother of pearl kind of effect. And then this is something I wanted to show off. This is a strap that I've been holding on to, and this strap actually was from my dad. This was actually my dad's camera strap. It was his favorite camera. It was like an old film camera. And he's no longer with us, and his cameras are not really of any use to anybody. So those cameras are just kind of sitting around. But I always remember this beautiful strap that he had on the camera. So I'm going to see how this looks as the strap for these, especially the guitar, at the very least. We'll see. I don't know about the saxophone. But yeah, but that's going to be the next step. But like I said, the first thing I want to do is start painting and altering these so they look a little bit more the way I would like them to look. And then that'll be the first half of this video, and then the second half of the video will be showing how I'm going to have to adapt the puppets to accommodate these, because Oko has very unusual body shape, which is not very conducive to holding up instruments, as you'll see. For example, he doesn't have any shoulders, for example. So, but anyway, like I said, I think I kind of have an idea of how this is all going to work. So, but let's just concentrate on the first part, the fun part, which is painting these up. So I'm going to prime this, And I think I'll even just start painting these as well, black. So we get rid of all this cartoony rainbow stuff, childish stuff. Okay, so yeah, let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's get to work. All right, so the painting is coming along pretty well. We finished the back. Here it is. It's the back. But now I've masked off, and we've primed the front with white, and I've masked off the black. So now we can start painting this with the fun colors that we want. And I've also primed with white these. These are going to be used for buttons for the saxophone, and this is going to be part of the guitar that we're going to do something fancy with. These are the ones that I want to make sort of a pearlescent color, so we'll get to that. But yeah, the saxophone is done as well. Instead of painting the keys black, I looked at more pictures of saxophones and realized it's pretty much all the brass gold color, so I just painted the keys gold. But yeah, these are going to be painted on to here in certain spots. But like I say, I want to still paint those a little bit more and make them sort of a pearlescent color. Same thing with this part of the guitar that'll go here. All right, so the color I chose for the guitar is sort of a really fun metallic red. I thought that would be a nice classic electric guitar kind of color that you saw in like the 80s a lot. And I think Marty's guitar was red in Back to the Future, wasn't it? I don't know, I'll have to check on that. But yeah, this is a nice metallic red. And we're going to do a few coats of this and see how that looks. Alright, you can see the guitar's coming along here, and I want now to get this pearlescent effect with this special paint that I got. Glitterific Pop. And this one is neon. It's like pink and yellow fleck. And I did a little test on some paper. I think that looks quite nice. So these are just the pins for the guitar that I painted gold. Alright, so these are actually the saxophone keys, and then this is the little crest that goes on the guitar. So I want those to be done in the pearlescent. So I'm just gonna... And these have all been primed with white, a white primer. And I'm just gonna like start painting this on until it looks like... Right now, it already looks pretty good, huh? It looks nice. Alright, here's a closer look at them in case you couldn't quite see them from a distance. But they just sort of like have sort of those colors from an opal. It's not quite an opal effect, but it'll do. Alright, so we have the instruments pretty much done to the level that I'm happy with. Here's the saxophone with a neck strap, and we'll just sort of play around with that sort of at the end. That looks pretty good. I have one more little alteration I need to do to this. I have to include a little hook here for Oko's left hand to be able to hold it. But I mainly want to concentrate on the guitar. So here is the finished guitar. I think it looks really, really good. I added a little tab here, and that's just so that Oko's hand will not go any further south than that down the neck of the guitar. So I'll actually, I'll show you. So here's, this is the dancing Oko, and that's the one I think that is going to be the most comfortable with this, because remember how I was worried about Oko not having any shoulders? And so how are we going to keep these instruments up? Well, I realized, I realized with the dancing Oko that my hand is going into the back, and so my hand will be able to hold up the neck strap, or the, is that what they call it? Shoulder strap of the guitar. So that's good because my hand will be going in through the back of the head. So that's what the strap will go over. So I think that'll work really, really well. Whereas when I'm using the marionette, that's not the case. And I was worried I'd have to make some kind of like loop on the back of the neck to have the neck strap go through, but that'd just be getting too complicated. So let me just show you the alterations I've done to this Oko in order for him to be able to do this. So I put these little loops of webbing over the fingers. All right, so with these little loops here on the back of the main 3 fingers of his right hand, I'm hoping that I'll be able to just sort of move my hand in, see, and sort of catch the little loops. So that I'll be able to... I'll be wearing all black during this as well. But yeah, just hoping that I'll be able to move his fingers around, and we can certainly move the hand up and down in every direction. And then over here on his left hand, I've included, there's a little like loop of fishing line here attached to his thumb that can actually wrap around the finger like this. And that's what I'm going to use to hold on to the neck of the guitar. So I'll actually set that up right now to show you guys. All right, I just looped this line over the finger. So there we go. So that's sort of how Oko's gonna hold this. The left hand's not gonna move very much. Hopefully I'll just be able to get a bit of movement while he's holding this, but I'll be controlling his right hand, which should be taking care of most of the action on the guitar down here. Hopefully. So now that we kind of have everything ready for a test run, I'll just finish stringing him up, and we'll do a little test run with the guitar and see how it looks, and then we'll just end things off with a little fun with the saxophone. But let's see how this electric guitar is looking. All right, so here we go. How's it look? So you can kind of hold on to that for a while. Now, this is what I use normally to control his hands, up, down, and open and wide. So I've got like a little hinge, but for this I'm just going to park it on my back wrist. So now let's see if I can get my hand into this. I mean, I can always pick up the string here for his hand and rock it, move it around while he's rocking. Yeah. But he does seem to be holding on to the neck of the guitar quite well for, yeah. So here we go. There, I just easily put those 3 loops through my fingers. And like I said, I'll be wearing all black, so my arm wouldn't be as noticeable. But yeah, but that went pretty well. And I'm just kind of holding the guitar up now. I'm just holding the guitar up. I do have to kind of hunch over a little bit, but that's it. I will say his fingers aren't moving very much. Hold on. It's kind of hard for me to hold on. You know what? Hold on. If I can... I'm going to try a different setup here. I'm going to try and put it only on 3 fingers so that I can actually pinch the guitar. There, so now I'm kind of moving my fingers. How does it look? So-so, huh? It's not bad. So here we are. Imagine him rocking out. The hand is moving a little bit. In fact, the hand is actually down a little further than I would like it. Yeah, I want it to be more kind of like that. So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of pinching with my forefinger to hold the guitar up. I might need a better way of holding the guitar up, but we'll see. And then I'm using my other 3 fingers on my hand to move his hand. But the fingers aren't moving that well. But anyway, it's okay. Overall, I'd say that looks pretty good. Ha-ha! Yeah! I think Oko's feeling pretty cool. Right, buddy? You better believe it. version 1.0 that I'll have to keep on experimenting with and playing around with. Not bad. Okay, so now I'm going to work on that a little bit and practice that a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is just make a quick little alteration to the saxophone so that we can get this guy also using the sax. So let's see how that'll work. All right. So here is just a little wire. I'm just temporarily putting so that that will be able to, that little fishing line that I have on Oko's left hand between the thumb and his finger, I'll just be able to kind of like rest the hand in here, is what I'm hoping for him to hold the saxophone keys on his left hand. So I'm going to see how that works, and if I like that, then I'll just end up painting this wire or gold or something like that to blend it a little bit. But I think that'll be good enough. And here is the neck strap. The neck strap I just have, so you can separate it here, just because I wasn't sure if that was going to be a difficult thing to get around his head or not, especially if I'm trying to do this on a marionette. I'm still not sure that's going to be happening. I think that the dancing Oko was the better one, again, because I'm going to be able to hold up the neck strap with the back of my hand, because my hand goes into the back of Oko's head for that puppet, which is better for using these instruments with, I think, because like I said, I've said this many times on this episode, but Oko has no shoulders. It's very hard for him to hold out these instruments. But anyway, I'm going to see how this hook looks now with the saxophone. I think it's going to work fine. So let's try that out. All right, so once again, for this particular design, I'm able to hold the instrument up on the back of the neck using my wrist, because my hand goes in the back of the head, so that's good. All right, so here he is. So now I might make the neck strap longer on this, but let's just see how it looks when he's playing it. So if I can get my hand into here, into the little loops, there they are, and then take the saxophone. Oh, it's going to be tough to get the hand in that. But there we are. That's basically, the hand is basically looped. That little loop on the left hand now is doing a good job. So there we are. So there he is. He's holding this up. We lost it. All right. So that little loop on Oko's left hand is doing a good job of holding up the instrument with his left hand. That's good. The hook is working pretty good. So there he is. Put it in his mouth. He can play away. I'd also consider, if I like this look, I would also consider possibly putting some magnets on the mouthpiece and on the black fabric of Oko's mouth, so you can really bite down on that, but I might not even need it. That looks pretty good, huh? Oko's playing away. All right, here we go. One more solo, all right? Here we go. All right, that's pretty good. Oko looks happy. All right, well, there you go, guys. That's going to be everything for this workshop. There's the introduction of the first two instruments that I'm hoping Oko will be able to rock out with. We got our guitar and saxophone. But yeah, I'm going to keep on playing around with these, seeing what kind of movement we can get out of them for Oko, and think about what kind of appropriate songs we can do with these amazing instruments. There's a lot of music I like that has guitar and saxophone solos in it, so we should be in for a real treat. All right, so that's going to be everything, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon from the Vancouver Pupps. This is Oko. We'll see you on the next workshop. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.